Um, my dear people of Southern Cameroon, my fellow brave warriors of our liberation movement of Ambazonia, accept liberation greetings from me, Comrade John Akuro. Today is Friday, October 28, 2022. I am actually not very stable, not very steady these days because I've been in a lot of movements. And so this communication is a very quick and impromptu communication. And I mean, don't worry if you're not going to be hearing from me a lot in the next few days because I'm actually, committed to a good lot of things that are going to be taking a lot of my time. And it's obviously for the good of the struggle as well. So I just took this few minutes to stop over here and make this quick communication because I've received a lot of calls. So many calls, so many people worried, so many people frustrated and asking a lot of questions. And I said, okay, it is usually not in my habit to want to respond to every Tom, Dick, or Harry on whatsoever they say. You will recall that in my last communication, I had mentioned that the town criers are going to be out on the streets there. They were even already out. They are going to multiply out there on the streets. And all these town criers are going to be singing so loud and clear and saying one thing, their frustration that they are not getting any information about what happened out there in Canada. And so for that reason, they are going to even say a lot of very stupid and out of the place thing. And it would be an opportunity, as I said before, for us to know who has been telling and churning a lot of lies and clear manipulations in this movement. Because in the past, my people, we have allowed ourselves to listen to charlatans, sorry to call them that, to listen to, spin masters, to listen to people who just get up from their beds and claim that they have information and claim that they have clear knowledge of things that are happening and claim that they even witness things, whereas all this are blatant lies and total fabrication. And the objective has generally been to sow confusion, to make themselves relevant, to raise funds for their personal gains, and then too often just for the sake of seeking and maintaining vain power. I call it vain power because locked in a liberation movement like this one, all our attention is supposed to be focused on the enemy, to be focused on seeing that we attain our objective, to be focused on seeing that we make Boya. I want to make this very clear here, and I want look into my eyes as I speak. I want to make this very clear here. I'm not one of those who hides behind audios and can't show my face and say things that I can't stand for. I'm not one of those who will cowardly use a pen name or whatsoever to say the things that I need to say. I say them as they are. Those who know me so well will recall that even while I was at CLTV, until I was chased out, chased around in the forest like an animal, I told Mr. Paul Biya things to his face on his own media house on CLTV. I remember people calling me after press hour. Find out, Mr. Akuro, are you still alive? I remember people calling me up after Cameroon calling. I started fighting for the freedom of the people of the southern Cameroons, even when we do not have this movement this strong as it is now. I fought in every avenue, in newspapers, on the air, at meetings, wherever. And I did not need permission from anybody whatsoever to do that. I don't ever need permission from anyone to do that. I do that for my sake. I do that for the sake of my children and for the sake of my yet unborn grandchildren, for the sake of generations upon generations of southern Cameroonians to come. I do that for the sake of the suffering masses of Ambazonia who for years have lived like slaves in the land of their birth. I do that for the sake of the suffering masses whom I saw with my eyes, touched and felt their reality month after month as I lived and worked through Cameroon. I have been to all kinds of places and know exactly what our people go through, better than some who have never been there at least for 30 years, who hide in little basements and make baseless claims and proffer insults and make manipulations and talk things that they cannot justify. Listen, my people. A few days ago, I stumbled on a young man. And he told me, Mr. Akuro, I've been looking for your number. I've been struggling to meet you. I've been doing all my best to get in touch with you. I am from Njungo. And when I heard you talk about Njungo, I was like, oh my goodness. So this man managed to get to that place? For those of you who don't know, Njungo is in the Mbo area of Kupenwanenguba County. They call it the hinterlands. Just hear how it is called. The hinterlands of the Mbo area. And to get to Njungo, you have to leave Bangem. If you're in Bangem, go all the way through Melon. That's through the littoral. Come through the west in Sancho. Before from Sancho and then right up to Ngwata. You start making your way. If you go right, climbing the hills, you're heading to Njungo. If you go left, getting down into the valleys, you are going to Mbeta. And Mbeta is the home of the Archbishop Emeritus Cornelia A. Fontaine. Listen, my people. This gentleman was shocked because he knows how tedious and difficult it is to get to some of these places. To get to some of those places, you have to trek for hours to get there. I did all of that. And that is why I fight, body, soul, and sinker. Because I know the realities of my people. Because I know what my people have lived and are still living through until this day. I don't need validation from anyone to stand for the independence of the Southern Cameroons. I hear some audios out there, oh, there was some document from the United Nations or sent to the United Nations that they had to ask for independence, and Akuro when I removed independence. Oh, really? I wish I had the opportunity to have such a document. You know exactly what I would do with it. Listen, my people. I don't need to justify myself as being one who will stomp, fight and die for the independence of the Southern Cameroons before anyone. They say by their works, we shall know them. And listen, people, I often hear this thing of people wanting to collect money here and there and everything. What fallacy that is, I can't even tell. But I want to make one thing very clear here. If I wanted to collect money or to get any pecuniary benefits, not to be involved in the liberation struggle for the Southern Cameroons, I knew exactly what to do. The overtures were just too many. I knew exactly what to do. I wouldn't go through a tortuous route, putting my little daughters through a lot of stress, moving around with them through forests, through several countries to get to safety because I want to stand for the freedom of my people. I wouldn't put them through all of that. I would simply have stayed in La République du Cameroon and earned what I could have earned. Listen, people, we have to get serious if what we are fighting for is freedom, is independence. The charlatans that have flooded this movement are the reason we have stayed in the wilderness just too long. So therefore, my people, why have people been calling me, Mr. Akuro, come, we need to hear from you? Because they are listening to a certain Sama Thomas. I have had occasion at one time to address Mr. Sama Thomas. Because I say, I know Mr. Sama Thomas is an old gentleman. Permit me calling him gentleman. It is not in my attitude to insult people. But he is an old man. And I hear that age comes with wisdom. In his case, I wonder if that really is what it is. Because when I listen to Mr. Sama Thomas say, assert with authority, Damba Akuro, Marianta, without whoever were in Canada and should come and say things, listen, Mr. Sama Thomas, and listen to me very well. You see me? Ask those who know me. Way back, even in secondary and high school, those who know me know I am fearless. Those who know me know nobody threatens me. No one terrorizes me, okay? Nobody frightens me. When I have to say it, I will say it. And when I have to do it, no matter how much you sing, if I'm convinced it's the right thing to do, I will do it. And I will tell you I've done it. And when I do it, I don't hide because I'm not a coward. Mr. Sama Thomas, if I had my way to be in Canada, at the level of those people who were required to be in Canada, I would have gone there. Did you hear me well? I would have gone there. But when you come and assert with authority that Mba Akuro was in Canada, it now convinces me, it now cements what I've always known, that you are a congenital liar, a pathological fabricator, a sorry image of a manipulator, and that you have used the blessing God gave you, your voice, to destroy rather than to build this movement. Exactly what I'm saying. To destroy rather than to build this movement. When an old man like you tells such blatant lies, and knowing that you are telling lies, how do you feel? The next minute you look at your children or grandchildren and they tell us and you tell them that it is the wrong thing to do? Mr. Sama Thomas and your gang, listen to me. I know all what you want is because you want to provoke some people so that they should come out and tell you that the most beautiful woman in the world only gives what she has. Nothing more. Listen, I was not in Canada. If I were in Canada, I would not be afraid to say I was in Canada, because there is nothing any of you could do to me. Because if I decided to go to Canada, I would have been going because I'm convinced that what I'm doing is right. Because first I need to convince me that what I'm doing is right before I bother to get validation from any other person. Listen, I know you are so anxious, you are so disturbed, you are so frustrated that nothing that you wanted to hear has filtered out of what transpired in Canada. You are not alone. There are many of you like that, planted by La République du Cameroun to destroy this movement. And for one moment, when we get it right, by severing you from that information that needs to stay in wraps until people attain their objective, you have run mad. Mr. Sama Thomas and your gang, I promise you, I am not involved with the meeting that went on in Canada. But I promise you, if I'm privy to have that information, I will still not share. I will play by the protocols agreed to. As a trained diplomat, I know what it means to agree to a clause of keeping things in wrap until when the time is ripe to communicate them. I am happy that now a lot of you are beginning to understand that Ambazonia is gradually shaping into a country. Because this is what it is. A serious country has secrets. Oh yes, has secrets. Before, Ambazonia did not have any. Everything group was on social media. For once, I'm very excited. Oh my goodness. If I know those people who were in Canada, if I know each and every one of them, I will send you a truckload of kola nut and a jug of mbu, because you deserve it. For having held tight, for having sealed your lips, for having made sure you don't feed the likes of Sama Thomas with information for him to use it in the interest of La République du Cameroun. My people of Ambazonia, I don't know how the people were picked to go to Canada were picked. One thing I know, and I was informed, is that they got there and then they operated in one bunch as Ambazonians. They refused to be treated as groups. They understood that even if it is by nature or by design that we found ourselves here, let us constitute ourselves serious and be serious and worthy ambassadors of the cause for the liberation of Ambazonia. Folks, you have my pat on your backs. Folks, you have my congratulations. Folks, you have my words of encouragement. Don't listen to the likes of the Sama Thomases and the others. Sing all you can from start to finish. You say I'm a signatory to a document. I've not even seen that document that you're talking about. I don't even know what document you're talking about, but I'm signatory of it. Listen, for the sake of the freedom of Ambazonia, I will continue to tolerate the likes of you to say all that kind of trash and move with it. What I know is the people of the Southern Cameroons are better than this. What I know is the people of Ambazonia are getting more and more mature. They are now beginning to select the chaff. Okay? to select the chaff and to know who is who in this liberation movement. And trust me, even the international community is beginning to observe that boys are now being carefully selected from the men. That women are standing on one side and the girls falling on the other in this liberation movement. These are clear signs that we are getting there, my people. You know, I'm sure some of you will be embarrassed that they are calling my name, insulting, saying they should hold me to this and that, and I'm smiling. Yes, I'm smiling. I'm smiling, my people, because there's nothing I have to worry about. I'm smiling because there's nothing I fear. I'm smiling because I know we are on the right trajectory. Yaounde is falling apart. That is what Mr. Sama Thomas should be concerned about. Yaounde is crumbling. That is what Mr. Sama Thomas has to focus his attention on and be telling our people that it is time to come together, that it is time to synergize, that it is time to prepare to take advantage of the weeks and months ahead. Not wasting his nice, strong voice on a fellow comrade like Akuro, who is only begging to be free too. Listen, my people, I said it here before, and I will repeat it. I am not afraid of anyone. No. Fear just God. That's the only being that I fear. As for the rest, it's an old story. We have southern Cameroons to liberate. And know that even the day this independence will come, some people will say, I'm no longer interested in this independence because it was not championed by me. Don't worry. We'll still drag you into our free country and let you enjoy the goodies of that wonderful country. Ambazonia is real. Things are happening around the world in our favor. Things are happening on the ground in our favor. Our brave hearts are getting ever more determined and more focused. Now the noisemakers are being pushed to the peripheries. Listen, my people. The time of victory and of celebration is no longer far. Remain strong. Remain vigilant. Continue to trash all those kind of worthless audios that are pushed to your table full of fabrication and manipulation. I don't have to come and stand here and shout, oh no, I was not in Canada. I wasn't there. If I were in Canada, time will tell. So why should I tell a lie today that tomorrow I'll be caught by it? Listen, people. If there is a time that I need to tell a lie to save the lives of Ambazonians, that will not be a lie. It will be a clear ambition to say something to generate a specific effect. And there is a time that I did that. Because some people hold to ransom, oh, you said Ayuk Tabi and the others were thrown into the sea. Listen, my people. I am still so excited today that I did that because it saved their lives. It was intended to save their lives and I attained my objective. And I'm not shy about it. When I do it, I say I did it. Because again, you won't beat me up. There's nothing you can do to me. All you can do is correct me when I'm wrong. And I will very, very humbly apologize and move on. No human being is infallible. All of us make mistakes. I am not exempted. But when it is not a mistake, I will tell you I did it, but it was not a mistake. It was deliberate. And this is why I did it. So people, keep your cool. Hold your peace. There is no pot that goes onto the fire that will never be ready for people to eat it. The day those who sat at meetings in Canada think it is ripe and propitious to communicate, they will communicate to us all. We will all hear. So therefore, there is no pregnancy that will never get to the point where the woman is delivered of a baby and we will all know the sex. So don't worry. Let's keep cool. Okay? To God be the glory.